Well, everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the Samsung Galaxy S23 and compare it against the Google Pixel 6a and see which specific phone is a better one for you. Now, both these phones are kind of going for different demographics, so keep that in mind. These aren't like direct competitors, but I am kind of surprised how well the Pixel 6a has been holding up against other phones too. So, if you want to pick up either one of these phones, links will be down in the description. You can get them from there and you can help support the channel at the same time. Now, starting off side by side, what's funny is both these phones technically have the same display size on paper, but they're very different. On the Pixel 6a, you are getting a 6.1-inch AMOLED display. And one thing I would definitely tell you, as I've said with many other phones in the market at this type of price range, and it's an OLED display, not AMOLED, it's a 60 hertz screen, so that's kind of expected. But for this type of display, I mean, it's a whole bunch display. It has a little bit of bezel around it, but it looks pretty good. Like, it still looks like a very decent panel. Of course, it is the viewing angles aren't that great. It's a 60 hertz screen too, but I think this is a very good panel for how cheap this phone is. I think that's usually one of the biggest things to keep in mind. And the resolutions here are pretty much the exact same thing, which is very funny. On the Galaxy S23, you are getting the same exact screen size, 6.1 inches, but it's a dynamic AMOLED display. And, I would definitely argue that this has a better panel overall than the Pixel 6a. I think mostly everyone would agree with that. You are getting same screen size, same resolution, but it's a 120 hertz panel. And there's a little bit less bezel around this display than on the Pixel 6a. So, in my opinion, the Galaxy S23 definitely wins here, but the Pixel 6a's display is still pretty good for the most part. Now, in terms of the side, what's funny is I actually did like the side of the Pixel 6a quite a bit. For as budget, this phone is not like a cheap phone, the Pixel 6a, but it's supposed to be more of like a mid-tier, cheaper phone. The build quality of it is very good. It's better than the FE lineup from Samsung. With that Galaxy S23, you have this flat metallic kind of texture, aluminum kind of side. It looks pretty good. I think both of them look pretty good for the most part. And on the back, we have completely different stylings. So with the Galaxy S23, we have a top-down camera approach on the top left. With the Pixel 6a, we have the basically top across on the Pixel 6a's camera. It's a dual camera setup here. I think both of them look pretty good. But I will probably say that the Galaxy S23's phone definitely looks and feels much more premium than something like the Pixel 6a. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but again, it is one of those small little things to keep in mind in the back of your head. Now, on top of that, both of them have USB-C ports at the bottom, no expandable storage, no wireless charging, I don't think, on the Pixel 6a. I kind of forgot about it. I went to go put the phone on the charger, didn't have it, so I kind of forgot. With the Galaxy S23, you have wireless charging and reverse wireless charging, which is actually very important. So, in terms of that kind of covers it up there. Now, in terms of software and longevity, I think a big thing to keep in mind with this type of phone with a Pixel 6a is that this phone is going to be getting day one updates for the most part. Not necessarily day one, but when a new update comes out for a beta, you are going to be able to install it. There's going to be lots of updates in the future. And that's something I've always loved about, Pixels. I think that's a really cool thing going for this type of phone. It's going to be lasting as long as the Pixel 6. The Pixel 4, I think, pretty much got its last update now. The Pixel 5 is going to be getting its last update. So this phone probably still has another 2 to 3 years ahead of it, which is really nice. The Galaxy S23, I think, is probably going to last as long, maybe a little bit longer than the Pixel 6a. So it's not going to be like the oldest supported phone by any means. This phone's going to be here for a long period of time. So I love seeing that. I love when phones, have that type of capability. So keep that in mind. If you want the most powerful phone, clearly get the S23 Ultra. That's going to be more powerful. But this one is still going to be very, it's going to be lasting for a long period of time. So that kind of covers it up there. And now let's go into a speed comparison between both these phones. The Galaxy S23 has that Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chipset inside of it with 8GB of RAM, where the Pixel 6a has that Google Tensor 1 chipset inside of it with 6GB of RAM. So let's go and see which one's the faster one between both. Okay, there we go. Both these ones are being a little awkward now, but that's totally okay. All the apps are cleared out in the background, so let us get into it. Let's do phone calls. 3, 2, 1. Okay, the Pixel 6a was slower. Camera, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go and take a photo. Let's go and open up that photo. Actually, it may have been a little bit faster on the Pixel 6a, which is very funny. Let's go and open up their app stores. 3, 2, 1. And I don't know why these phones are just being so annoying to me. And that one kind of covered that one up. Let's go and scroll through these, see which one. Now you can see, in my opinion, the Pixel 6a looks much more choppier than the Galaxy S23. The S23, hopefully you can tell that on camera. The S23 is definitely a much smoother, faster performing phone right here than the Pixel 6a, and it's never been more evident than here. A lot of screen chopping on the Pixel 6a. Hopping out of here, some of these third-party applications. Let's do Twitter. 3, 2, 1. Okay, S23, definitely the faster one there. Let's go into Snapchat, 3, 2, 1. S23 again is the faster one. Let's do Quizlet, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go and hop out of here. Now I have to load up the game launcher in order to load up these games, which is very annoying. We try Genshin Impact, 3, 2, 1. So this is a pretty big game. So I don't know what that loud sound was. That freaked me out. Now I don't have the game downloaded. It's just going to be whichever one loads into the the launcher the fastest. And you can see that the S23 did load into it faster than the Pixel 6a. Hopping out of here, let's go and load up another game. We can try Snake vs. Blocks, 3, 2, 1. The S23 again was the faster one. Hopping out of here, let's try another one. Let's go ahead and do Subway Surfers, which I do not have here. Let's try Temple Run 2, which I have up here. 3, 2, 1. Now there might be a pop-up that comes up here for me to click something, and there isn't. So even here, you can tell that the Snapdragon chipsets in general, I think, are faster than the Mali GPUs you're getting on the on the Pixels, which is whatever. It's just one of those annoying things. I think both these are very fast phones, but if you're trying to do more gaming related things or more emulation type of things, the Galaxy S23 is definitely going to be the better one in that perspective than the Pixel 6a. So keep that in mind. Not the biggest deal in the world, but it is at the end of the day one of those things to keep in mind. So from that perspective, I'll definitely say the Galaxy S23 wins in the performance side. Now from the camera department, I think it's clear which one's the winner here too. With the S23, you're getting a triple camera setup, wide ultra-wide telephoto lens. With the Pixel 6a, you're getting a wide and ultra-wide camera. Very good setups for modern day cameras for their price tags. I think it's great. You were getting 4K at 60 on the back of both. With the Pixel 6a, you were only getting 1080p on the front. The Galaxy S23, you can film 8K video on the back, and you can film 4K at 60 on the front, which is actually pretty insane. Now with the Pixel 6a camera, I think this is a pretty good camera for the price tag, like I mentioned, and the fact that it's been out for a little bit of time now, you can probably get it for even cheaper than what it was before. So you do get 0.6x zoom on the outside, and you do get all the way up to 7x zoom, so that's pretty cool. On top of that, you have portrait mode, you have night sight all the way at the end, you have video mode, and you have 3 other additional modes right here, which is cool. And the big thing for Pixels in general are their software optimizations. So I think that's pretty cool. I like that for sure. And I think that's a really cool thing at the end of the day, that this phone has that type of capability. And, that's the big thing you're doing when you're winning on. So that's the big thing that you're doing when you're kind of, getting a Google Pixel or the software optimizations. Now that's also the same thing I think on Samsung. Samsung kills it in their camera department. They've done a tremendous job with their camera UI, with the amount of features you're getting and everything related to that. So with this type of phone, I mean, you're getting photo, portrait mode, portrait video, but under more, like I mentioned before, you are getting a lot more options, which is so awesome. So I would definitely tell you that, Pixel 6a's camera is good, but the Galaxy S23's camera is definitely far better, in my opinion, than the Pixel 6a. You're just getting more capability. So to kind of sum up this video, what I'll definitely tell you is I definitely do think the Galaxy S23 is more of the flagship. I mean, you're getting some basic things like wireless charging on this phone, but you're also getting better cameras, better performance, potentially, I think, better battery life on the Pixel 6a at first, but I think it kind of equaled out. Like, you're getting overall the better phone, but it's more expensive, so it's expected. With the Pixel 6a, I think you're getting a lot of similarity. Like, you're getting, still a very good build quality phone, very decent performance for this type of price tag, decent camera, decent everything all across the board. I don't think it's going to excel in any direction, but this phone isn't made for that, So if this phone you can get for like $300 something, that's a pretty decent value. But I think the Galaxy S23 clearly is the winner here. So that pretty much covers it up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.